So this video is going to be dark. Bear with it. All you need is my words anyways. All you need are my words anyways. Just my words. You don't need anything else. You don't need to see what's in this video, honestly. Just my words. You just need to hear my words. So, my previous video just cut out on me because I was talking too long within it. And what I was doing was I was explaining the 9 great fathers energy parable. I was explaining the 9 great fathers energy parable. I'm still coming up with names for it. So it cut out on me when I got to the 6th slot. The 6th slot, which is the power slot, or the solar plexus slot, or the great father on the list according to my nerd parable, the Akuma slot, you see. And as the video was getting ready to cut out, I was simply saying, keep good energy into your mind and keep negative energy out of your mind. Keep good energy in your mind and keep negative energy out of your mind. Keep negative principalities out of your mind and keep the positive and or balanced energies of the heart of hearts chakra within your mind. Before I go on, 2 things. The purpose of this great father's parable. I've been wanting to tell you this. I meant to put this in the previous video, but I was talking too much and it cut out on me. So, the first thing to put on this one, or 3 things actually. The first thing was home liberation. That's the first thing. Something to do with home liberation. The next thing, the moral art board. Your moral art board. And the third thing, the theme for the great fathers, for the great father hierarchy, the 9 great fathers hierarchy. Don't be sorry, do be better. Don't be sorry, be better. Don't be sorry, be better. Those 3 things. So, home liberation. Let's talk about that one first. Because this whole great fathers parable, the whole reason why I am eager to just get this information online or into the hands of someone or something, I don't even care what entity it is, because like I said, it's infinite power. I can't give away infinite power. You're just going to have power that I got that's infinite. If you can possibly even handle it, it's going to require everyone on the planet to be able to handle my actual energy here. It's going to require everyone alive to handle my actual energy here. In the first parable, home liberation, the first thing that I want to tell you about before I go back to explaining my 9 fathers parable, I just want to tell you these things before I finish explaining the 9 fathers parable, because I wanted to tell you these things in the previous video, but it cut out on me because I was talking too much. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So, home liberation. Think of this for a moment. Life itself is a thing that can be measured. Life is a dimension that can be analyzed. A form is a dimension that can be analyzed. A form is a thing, indoor dimension that can be analyzed, you see. But here's the thing, it's a whole thing. Each of those 2 things that I just mentioned are whole things to measure, whole things. Life internal, the form external. Life internal, the form external. So, here's what I'm not ultimately getting at just yet. More details. Life form, life form. Think of the words life form. How many times have you heard the words life form? You want to know what a life form is? The planet is a life form. You want to know what else a life form is? You are a life form. I am a life form. Our people are life forms. We are all life forms. But here's the thing though. There are also many other names you can give to label and describe the title known as a life form, you see. There are many things you can give to label and describe what a life form is. You can also have words like spiritual being, because here's the thing, the life is the spirit, the being is the form. The life is the spirit, the being is the form. I'm getting somewhere with this. Just give me a moment if you'd like to. You don't have to. I get the video is dark and it's going to be kind of annoying to watch it if you even watch it to this moment that I'm talking right now currently. Life form, spiritual being, life form, spiritual being. Spirit is the life, the being is the form. Spirit is the life, the being is the form. So, peep this for a moment, if you would. Spiritual being, life, form. Spiritual being, life, form. The spirit wears the life, or the spirit wears the being. The spirit wears the being as what can be labeled and described as an incarnation, and or the life wears the form as what could be known as an avatar. I'm just going to use all the words to label and describe the whole point of the parable, the Great Father's parable. So, the life form, or the spiritual being, the spiritual being's incarnation, or the life form's avatar. The spiritual being's incarnation and or the life form's avatar, right? Spirit is internal, life is external. Or spirit is internal, the being is external. The life is internal, the form is external. The life is one thing that can be measured, and the form can be measured, can also be measured. You follow me? And the life, where's the form, and or the spirit, where's the being? Meaning the spirit wears the being's incarnation, and or life wears the avatar's form. I have to say the words out loud and say them in certain sequences for you to grasp them and what they mean exactly. I'll continue. So, once again, the spirit wears and or is housed by the being's incarnation, and or the life is housed by the avatar's form. You see, housed. Now, everybody is a life form and or a spiritual being and or what you would all call a human being. You see, everybody is a human being. So that means everybody is the spirit of life's home. You see, everybody is the spirit of life's home. This is what I'm ultimately getting at with this 9 Great Fathers parable, or the 9 Great Fathers energy parable. Everybody is the spirit of life's home. Everyone alive is, the entire world is, all the people of the world and all the natural animals thereof are the spirit of life's home, you see. And right now, currently, your spirit is trying to live through you as it initially designed itself and or bore itself through this reality to do in the first place, if that makes sense to you. So, home liberation. This is what I ultimately mean by home liberation. God will have his world, God will have his people moving God's speed forever. Soul speed, one belief, and one foundation. This here home liberation parable, the spirit lives within humanity, or the spirit is housed by humanity. The spirit is housed by humanity. However, in order for the spirit to live to and through humanity, home liberation, the spirit must, or the people must relinquish the world's control, or should I say the artificial, because I must be specific. I must be precise in exactly what I am talking about at all times in order to make sure you have capital discernment, in order to make sure you gain capital discernment per word that I say. So, due to the artificial world and its 9 evil principalities, what causes or prevents the people from allowing the soul to live to and through them is primarily at large, should I say. I believe I said that correctly. What am I getting at here? The moral art board is I'm gonna have to explain the moral art board next in order for you to get it. In order for you to fully get the home liberation thing. And why not being sorry and being better is the best way to pick. I'm going to get to the father hierarchy in a moment, but I really needed you to get this part especially. I needed you to get these words. So now I need to explain the moral art board now. I need to explain what a moral art board is before I go on, in order for you to gather the home liberation parable more effectively. So the moral art board parable, the moral art board, before I get back to the father's liberation or the father hierarchy, the moral art board is explained this way. So morals What are they? First, what's the literal definition of morals? When you look it up, it'll say concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character, and the goodness or badness of human character. Concerned, meaning worry about or be anxious about and or be aware of. It's a whole lot of definitions to that word concerned, right? I would just rather take the word awareness and just use that word alone and replace all of the other definitions that the word concern comes with, and just use the awareness line. Now, here's how it would sound. Morals. The literal definition of the word morals. Awareness with the principles. Awareness with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character. What is the word principle defined as? Principle, spelt with a P-L-E at the end, a fundamental truth or proposition in which serves as the foundation for a system of belief, behavior, or for a chain of reasoning. So in other words, morals, the literal meaning of the word morals, it's like a visual lens or a visual scope to see and or to contemplate the grounds you walk upon, whether they be good grounds, bad grounds, or balanced grounds. You follow what I'm saying? Or nothing grounds, or stagnant grounds, or the enemy's traps you in its ways grounds and stops your home from being liberated, meaning your spiritual home, all of humanity. Humanity, you are my home. Long story short, you are my home, humanity, and I find my liberation through you all. Long story short, moving forward. So, continuing my Great Father Parable's main themes so you can have more inclination or more detail as to why this parable, I am trying to put it in the world by any means. Moving forward. So the moral art board. What's your moral art board? The definition of the word morals. Awareness with the principles of right and wrong behavior or the goodness or badness of human character. Principles. A fundamental truth or proposition. Like me being outside of you, telling you these words. Proposition outside of your norm. Telling you how your moral art board should look. How your moral art board should look. A proposition outside of you that serves as the foundation for a system of belief, behavior, or for a chain of reasoning. And so, morals literally defines as awareness with the fundamental truth or proposition of right and wrong behavior or the goodness or badness of human character. That makes sense to you. The visuals of them. Do you have visuals of bad character? Do you have visuals of good character? Do you have visuals of balanced characters? Or do you have visuals of entrenched character? Enemies, entrapped, entrenched character, which is the same thing as a negative movement. It's the same thing as negative grounds right now. That's all it is. Just negative grounds. 2 negative grounds, 2 positive grounds. 1 positive and balanced in detail, and 1 negative and entrenched in detail, you see, moving forward. So, moral artwork. Your moral art grounds, your moral art board. Moral art board. What does your moral art board look like? And or what's in your foundation of knowledge? What's in your knowledge? I'm going to just stick with the moral art board for a moment. So, here's why I'm using this parable for just to give more clarity on it. If you or anyone you know of have a moral grounds that you've accepted, and you find this moral grounds to be an energy thou art which not to leave or veer off of, don't do that. 1. And 2, if you or anyone you know steps off of these moral grounds that you have established for yourself, and or these moral grounds that you and your society have accepted, if you step outside of it, it will be considered an act of immorality. But here's the thing though. What does your moral art board look like? What does your moral artwork look like? What is your painted moral art board look like? What does your painted moral art board look like? What does it look like? Was it painted for you to have foul negative behavior? Or was it painted for you to have positive and balanced behavior? You see, what was your moral artboard painted to look like? It's just a parable, just a parable. And remember, a parable, short story, used to label and describe moral and/or spiritual upliftments. But the real definition, that was my definition, but the real definition will say this: parable, a short story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. That's what a parable literally defines as. So I just changed upliftments and changed illustration. That's all I did. Moving forward. So what does your moral artboard look like right now currently? I'm going to tell you this to make this parable make a lot, meaning a lot more sense. Did you know every single person alive, due to the spirit that has housed them, has painted a moral artboard for us all to stand and walk upon, trillions on top of trillions, long story short, multi-trillions of years ago? Meaning, we have a naturally divine moral principle artwork board that has already been drawn for us, laid out for us, planned out for us, with all of the elaborate details of how we should truly be moving within our lives and every day we live them. Ultimately, that's what I wanted to get to. Right there, that statement right there. We have a divinely, naturally drawn moral artboard that the spirit soul drew out for us to stand on and walk on and live by a multi-trillions of years ago. Trillions. I'm talking trillions, not billions, not thousands, not millions. I said those numbers wrong. Billions, millions, thousands, hundreds. Not that many. Multi-trillions of years ago did the true Most High God of the universe give us a moral artboard drawing so long ago. If that makes sense. I believe that makes sense. I'm going to say it again. The true Most High God of the universe gave us a moral sheet to walk on and or live by, or moral ground and or moral foundation to walk on and live by, that it's painted for us, or he painted for us, however you like to see it, because I know what it's going to take to reach you. Trillions of years ago, that our true creator, our true God, our true birther, our true source gave us divine moral grounds to walk on years ago. So, what are the 9 negative principalities in which come from the evil devil? What say-so does its principalities truly hold over our grounds? None. You see, this is what I'm ultimately trying to get you to. This is why I'm explaining this great father energy parable. The enemy of this world has no right whatsoever to tell us how we should be living and or treating one another at all. None of them. Like I said, or like the Bible says, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, we do not war with flesh and blood. We war against principalities. We war against powers. We war against spiritual wickedness in high places, rulers of the darkness of this age. My divine character traits are not a bunch of white people with eagle's wings. Your ancestors, our recessive ancestors, are the ones that painted the devil's moral artboard for us. They painted it for us, or should I say for the devil, because it wasn't for us at all. Obviously, we all can't stand it. Nobody can stand the devil's artwork. Nobody can stand the devil's moral artwork. Nobody can, because it's all immoral compared to the spirit soul's artwork. The spirit soul's artwork, we need to allow that to be free, or we need to allow that to express, and no longer allow the devil's artwork to express. You see, we need to stop allowing the devil's immoral artwork to express, and only allow the spirit soul's artwork to express. This is the whole point of the Great Father Energy Parable. But the thing is, what is stopping the spirit soul's moral artboard or moral art foundational work from expressing? What is stopping it? The negative 9 evil principalities of the world today. At least that's just one thing I'm measuring. It's just one thing. One thing. That's it. But this is ultimately what I wanted to get to you with this Great Father energy parable, though. This is the ultimate thing I wanted to get to you. There's still more, though. There's still more. There's details. You're missing so much. That's why it's going to require so much talking moving forward. Here. Just take this. Just take it. It's free. Just take it. It's free. I get it. The video quality is bad right now. It's dark in here. You know, you can barely even see what I'm saying. You can barely even see me. I get it. The quality. But these words, yo, the frequency of these words, the frequency, current of manifestation. Remember, in the previous video, I was talking about how I'm going to label and describe the 9 fathers, great energy hierarchy from the physical to the spirit. I'm going to continue doing that. I just needed you to have those those 3 themes: the home liberation theme, the moral art board theme, or the parable, and the don't be sorry, be better parable. I needed you to have those 3 things as I was getting ready to go back in. You follow me? So here, back to the story now. Back to the hierarchy. So I was upon, before the video cut off on me, I was upon the 6th slot of the hierarchy listing. The 6th slot. Going from the physical planets slot to the solar plexus, the human conscious mind slot. You follow me? No, that's incorrect. Earth Star Chakra is the life. In the form of the Earth Star Chakra is my brother, meaning the father thereof, because the life is the spirit and or the greatness. The life is the greatness and the father is the form. Life form, great father. Life form, great father. Spiritual being, great father. Spiritual being, great father. Spiritual, the spirit is the great part. The spirit is greatness. The spirit is great. The father is the being. The spirit is great. The father is the being. Life is great. The form is the father. Life is great. The form is the father. You see, great father parable. That's the reason. That's also another reason why I keep saying great father energy. Great father energy. We love you all. And we're always going to continue to love you. It's just the way we're built. Moving forward. So, great father energy. I started Earth Star Chakra. That's the life. On this list, my brother was the form. Was the great father on that list. Then the 2nd slot, Root Chakra. That's the life. The Kazuya Mishima video game. That's the form. And then the 3rd slot, I see where I'm at now. The Sacral Chakra. Life. My father. He plays the form on that one. And the first 3 sins. Ignorance being the sin of the Earth Star Chakra. The great father of my brother. Ignorance being the great father. Ignorance being my brother's sin. Greed being Kazuya's sin. Or greed being the sin of this slot here. This hierarchy slot here. Gluttony. Not gluttony, but lust. Lust being the 3rd slot. And 4th is where I'm at currently, the solar plexus slot. 4th, gluttony is the sin for this one here. So, what is the reconnection scenario? It's reconnection scenario. That's what I call each hierarchy when I go in and get ready to label and describe why the Great Father is the Great Father selection for this specific hierarchy slot. What is the reconnection scenario? What do I mean by reconnection scenario? The reconnection to the heart of hearts chakra and or the principle of the universe, which is the soul of the universe. And principle spelled with a P-A-L. You follow what I'm saying? But when you look at it in spirit, this principle spelled with the P-A-L is the same as the principle spelled with the P-L-E. They're one and the same thing in spirit. Because God is the foundation and the empire in one. You follow me? And the foundation and the empire is what we stand on and reason with and reason by. Why we do what we do is because of our foundation currently and our empire currently. And right now, our current foundation and our current empire are wrong according to the ways of the spirit and soul. In the ways I'm seeing the spirit and soul right now, it is simply giving me my life and my abilities to function, as the incorrect foundational empire is taking our lives and our abilities to function in them. So, once again, this father hierarchy, this great father energy hierarchy parable is going to help see to it that the foundation and empire thereof is lost among thee, and gives you your abilities to return back to home, to return normal, to return back to normal, and/or allow the spirit soul to express through you and guide your steps for all the days of your lives. Peace, love, unity, and advancement. That's exactly what it's getting ready to do. Lead you all through peace, love, unity, and progression, if you desire to choose this path. Those who don't, then we know where they stand, where we do not wish to at all, if you follow what I'm saying. So moving forward, who wisheth to stand upon peace, love, unity, and advancement? And who wisheth to stand upon war, hatred, division, and stagnates in peace? Who still wishes to stand with such evil deeds and such evil tasks to be upheld within our reality? This idea will see to it that your desire to stand on such principles will fade. So I'm just going to say it out loud to you until there isn't a single person on this planet at all, or a single person within reality, that desires to stand on the devil's artwork ever again. It's another reason why I want to say these things out loud. But why? Why though? Why? Well, why? For one, I don't have any other thing to offer you as far as content or something to talk to you about. And secondly, well, I just want a better world. I want to be around people that are not going to lead me astray or put me in the wrong way. Let me just say that. So, reconnect scenario. Reconnecting with the heart of hearts, or the principle of the universe, with the scenario. And in spirit, principle spelled with a P-L-E and a P-A-L for the heart of hearts means the same thing, because it is the foundation and the empire in one. Meaning it's the grounds we walk on and why we walk in one. Long story short, that's what the heart of hearts is. The heart of hearts is the grounds we walk on and why we walk the way we walk on the grounds in one. Principle and principle. Moving forward. So, I'm on the fourth slot then. The solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus being the life of this great father slot, and Akuma from the Street Fighter lore being the father of this great father slot, or the form and or the being of this great father slot. So what's the reconnection scenario with this here Akuma slot then? Why does Akuma have a slot on such a list as this one, where you're talking about the most purest aspects of an individual's characteristical traits, the divine characteristical traits? The angels are stars. Simple. Gluttonous for fighting. That's one thing to add there. Gluttonous for fighting. That's what Akuma's character is. That's one significance to have in regards to his story, being a gluttonous for fighting. Do I want you all to be gluttonous for fighting? Do I want you to all have fighting on your mind? Do I want you to all have strain and irritation and dismay on your mind to express all day long? No, of course not. I desire for you to have peace of mind. Peace of mind. But the thing is, you have to root out and eradicate all of the things that are preventing you from having a peace of mind. You follow what I'm saying? That's one of the first steps. And the 9 evil negative principalities are some of the first things that need to be uprooted and eradicated. And so, once again, the 9 great fathers energy parable, I'm going to come up with a name with it and master it. I just wanted it to be short and catchy. I just know it's great father energy. Main thing, the 9 great father energies. There we go. The 9 Great Father Energies parable. The 9 Great Father Energies parable. Great Father's energies. Plural, plural. Okay, here. So, gluttonous for fighting. Why be gluttonous for fighting spiritually or in the conscious mind or in the physical conscious mind? Why be a gluttonous for fighting in the physical conscious mind? Simple. The enemy of this world is consistently and constantly and bombarding and attacking your conscious mind with its lies and its negative principalities all day long, using its powers to attack your powers and trying to turn your powers against thee. Using your powers or using its powers to attack your powers, to turn your powers against you. What does the word powers mean, literally? Powers literally defines as the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. Faculty or quality. There we go with those divine principle words there, like faculty and quality. What are your divine qualities? What are your divine principles? What does your moral artwork board look like? What does it look like? What do your moral grounds look like? Do you even know? Do you have negative moral grounds? Do you have positive moral grounds? Or do you have balanced moral grounds? That's one of the quickest ways to see them. This is one of the quickest ways to see them. How do you know if you got negative moral grounds? If everything is chaotic around you. If everything is chaotic around you, or if everything in your world is chaotic and you are doing nothing about it but enjoying it being so because you're benefiting off of it, that's how you know you got negative moral grounds, which will be immoral to the spirit soul's grounds, immoral to the true God's grounds, immoral to the melanated people's natural divine principles. That's what that'll be. Because that's what everything in this world was built off of. The hatred for the melanated species. The hatred for who and or what we are, period. Why do you think we have these so-called white people in the world today? Study our history properly. Ours were stolen, grafted into theirs. Ours were stolen, grafted into theirs. And now theirs are being programmed to graft us into theirs. Even more until we're all the way gone. Everything was built off of the hatred of the melanated species. Everything was built off of the hatred of the archangel species. That's why our powers are being turned against our powers as we speak. Our abilities to do something are being turned against our abilities to do something. Nature is being turned against nature. And they are very eager to execute these things for no reason at all. Remember, all of this is happening to us for no reason at all. They are performing these horrendous, hideous tasks that they have the power to do for no reason at all. You follow me? Sum it all up. Solar plexus slot. The reconnection scenario. Due to this fact, tapping into and or reconnecting with the heart of hearts and or reconnecting with your abilities to see them in action will give you your powers and your abilities you need to stop them if you choose to stop them, because they taught you to enjoy it. They taught you to be gluttonous for respect. They didn't teach you to be gluttonous for fighting. They taught you to be gluttonous for respect. Why do you think you're addicted to poisonous foods? Why do you think you're addicted to poisonous programming? Why do you think you're addicted to these things? You're gluttonous for poison. You're gluttonous for it. This is why the Akuma character, or the Akuma father, another reason why I'm putting him in this story, is because the characteristical trait of a fighting spirit, one that fights to certain degrees that he fights to, meaning like no matter what happens, he is going to stop what he is fighting against, period. He is going to put down what he is fighting against, period. That's just what he does. He defeats his enemies. You follow what I'm saying? That's what this Akuma father does. He defeats what he is up against. He defeats it. He fights until it's gone. He fights until there's no more to fight. There is no surrender. There is no retreating. There is no backing up. There is just beat you until you are done being beaten. At least that's the characteristic of it. And I desire to put a characteristical trait such as this within our solar plexus chakra because it'll help us reconnect with the heart of hearts chakra. How? Because it'll stop and or prevent the negative principalities from entering our mind, heart spaces to cause us to go in a different direction. You follow what I'm saying? This is the point of the parable. Give you an idea of it, so give you awareness that it's actually happening. Yeah, your mind is constantly being attacked night and day and bombarded by a very sinister, evil energy. You follow what I'm saying? You can label and describe it in the form of an influence. You can label and describe it in the form of family separation. You can label and describe it in the form of poisonous air. You can label and describe it in the form of poisonous people. You can label and describe it in the form of someone approaching you with a negative moral artboard, looking to put 9 negative principalities on your clear and or heart of hearts moral artboard. And if they get these 9 negative principalities upon your clear and your beautiful and magnificent moral artboard, it'll cause you to move in the direction they desire you to move. Enter Akuma, fight them off. It's just an idea, just a funny way to say it, man. It's just a lucrative way to say it. The characteristic. So just by saying his name, you hear the characteristic. But it's a great father parable, though. It's great father energy. People in the Street Fighter world, since you want to use their character, you still got to pay respects to the character that you're using, no matter which specific trait you want to draw from him to use, yeah? You still got to pay some respects and or some contribution to what the character truly is. Sure, I have in my mind that'll also reconnect to the great father energy in my head this what if scenario. It's a what if scenario of Akuma from the Street Fighter world, right? I have this scenario in my head that since everybody's in the Street Fighter world saying that Ryu is possibly Akuma's son, right? I believe that. And the main reason why I want to believe that is so I can add a fighting spirit to my 9 fathers hierarchy and put parabolistical fight back spirits into the mind heart spaces of the family so they can have the spirit to fight back against the negative energies entering their mind spaces, especially that magnificent mind space. You follow me? So I have a what if scenario that makes him a father so he can actually count and be included on this list. What if Akuma and Kazumi got busy at one point, right? She had an affair on Heihachi or something, or what if Kazumi left Heihachi for like a couple of years or something? No, it says in the story they were inseparable, but it also says that Kazumi from the Tekken world did something for Akuma from the Street Fighter world. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, Goki, right? Akuma was a Goki before he was an Akuma, right? And we need our women to stabilize in real life. We need our women to mentally stabilize in real life. So then this what if scenario started to wrapping up and giving me another idea. Okay, so what if Goki, when he was tapping into that devil form, didn't have a way to stabilize it, you see, and she did him that favor. She did him that favor. But then a son named Ryu came out of it. But whatever favor she did him, helped him stabilize that form. And they had a baby, Ryu. Who knows, man? It's just a what if scenario. But here, moving forward. Next slot, man. The next slot. I'm just going to finish it quickly now, bro. Or finish it as quickly as I possibly can before it goes another hour. So the next slot. It's the 5th slot on the hierarchy. What's the reconnection scenario for this slot? Who's the life form and or spiritual being of this slot right here? The great father for the 5th slot. Vegeta from the Dragon Ball series. Yep, another nerd parable. Pride for the soul race. So, this slot right here. What's some reconnection scenarios? What's the full reconnection scenario, if you can break it down real quickly? Reconnecting with the heart of hearts chakra. in the scenario being what I'm labeling and describing to give you awareness and/or some finite details in regards to how you can possibly or how you can more quickly reconnect to the heart of hearts chakra. Remember, we only got one heart of hearts chakra universally. The details of this spirit, or the details of this slot right here. The reconnection scenario. A simple line. Pride for the soul race. Vegeta in his cartoon, he always says, Saiyan pride. I am the Saiyan prince. Prince of all Saiyans. Prince, right? So, the heart of hearts is the prince of all reality. The heart of hearts is the prince of all reality. The prince of the soul race. The heart of hearts chakra is the prince of the soul race. There's another connection, a reconnection scenario. Just a reconnection scenario. Just reconnection scenarios. That's why I'm using Vegeta's character to label and describe it, or using Vegeta's character to give an example of what I mean here. Some of the things he was saying in this show, paying mild or major respects to the overall character thereof as well. Like the ultra ego, for example. Don't forget, ego means a sense of self-esteem and or a sense of self-importance. That's what ego means. Don't forget, nothing in this world wants you to have a sense of self-importance at all. Nothing in this world wants you to have a sense of self-esteem at all, especially if you are a man. Double, triple, quadruple times if you are a man. So they bash on it and they attack it all day. But here's the thing though, if you don't die, it gets stronger. Just like the form of the ultra ego does in the show. Right, Geekdom 101? If you wanted to take up my challenge and seeing how Vegeta can relate to the chakra hierarchy aspects or the chakra artwork or the chakras artwork, how can Vegeta's ultra ego form label and describe certain characteristical traits of the chakras moral art board groundwork? The chakras moral art board groundwork. Board and the ground being the same thing. How can Vegeta's ultra ego form give some details as to how the chakras moral artwork grounds work for us? Simple. When Vegeta's ultra ego form gets attacked, what happens? It gets stronger, or it can hit you back with something stronger. In this world right here, if men don't take their own lives and just live through it, because as long as you're alive, there's hope. Notice too, the ultra ego is purple, like the crown chakra is purple, but the third eye is still in control. It's just the purple hair on top of the crown. As long as you're alive, there's hope. Men who do not take their lives and or who do their best to just deal with it, patiently wait for that day where the foundation is gathered and we can truly start fighting back in the physical. You make everything around you better in doing so. If that's a way to say it. Just like the Vegeta's ultra ego form, it gets attacked and bashed. Ego gets attacked and bashed all day. But if it survives, it comes back stronger, or it hits harder every time it does. You follow what I'm saying? Geekdom 101, if you took on the challenge of the ultra ego purple hair and the crown chakra purple hair on top of the hair and yada, 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 then that's what I was trying to get you to see. But here's the thing though, why I'm using Vegeta as the great father for the 5th hierarchy slot. Principalities angel, the prince of the soul race, the prince of the spiritual beings. The heart of hearts is the prince of the spiritual beings. The heart of hearts is the prince of the spiritual beings. The heart of hearts is the prince of the soul race. The heart of hearts is the prince of the soul race, the human race. The heart of hearts is the prince of the human race. Principalities. Now, 5th slot. There's another reason why. When you do some research on the definitions of the 9 choirs of angels, celestial hierarchy, angelic listings, meaning when you take a look at the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy, 9 choirs of angels celestial hierarchy, when you take a look at the 9 choirs of angels celestial hierarchy indoor and you see the names of each angel and you define them all, define all the names, see what they mean, I guarantee you what you're going to find. Principalities defines, in traditional Christian angelology, the 5th highest order of a 9-fold celestial hierarchy. The fifth highest orders, meaning principalities, is in the fifth slot. Principalities is in the fifth slot. The angels and the chakras are in the same space. The angels and the chakras are in the same space. The principalities, angels, plural. The principalities, angels, plural, is in the same slot as the heart chakra. It's in the same slot as the heart chakra, meaning the principalities, angels, are the artwork and/or a constituent of the heart chakra, the heart of hearts chakra. You follow what I'm saying? If you look at the hierarchy from its original standpoint, which means there's not actually multiple angels, there's only one principality angel, and that is the heart of hearts chakra. And the heart of hearts is the prince of the soul race, Vegeta line right there. That's the reconnection scenario. It's just I'm gonna use a bunch of his lines and a bunch of his quotes to tell you how awesome the heart of hearts is and how it's actually our actual true master. Not of disaster, but of some word that is beneficial that could possibly rhyme with master. Master of satisfactor. No, that's not a, no, never mind. Moving forward. So that's the fifth slot though. And the reason why. That's the fifth great father and/or the fifth life form and/or the fifth spiritual being right there. And why? Vegeta from the Dragon Ball series. Prince of, I'm just using his lines to reconnect with the heart of hearts chakra more faster for everyone. I'm just using his lines to help us reconnect faster. Reconnection scenarios. That's what each hierarchy slot is going to have. Each hierarchy slot is going to have a reconnection scenario. Moving along then. So, the next hierarchy slot, counting from the physical to the spirit, the current of manifestation, the current of manifestation, the current of manifestation, current, think frequency of manifestation, frequency of manifestation. What am I trying to manifest here? What am I trying to manifest? Home liberation. I desire to manifest home liberation. The only way I can do that, manifest home liberation, is through the people. That's it. The people are my home in a sense. I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being, and I live to and through the people, and I live to and through the people. So in order for me to have my home liberated, the people have to let me express through them. Spirit soul meaning. I'm just using me as an example to let you know, or to speak for the spirit soul, should I say. The people need to let me express through them so I can have my crib back. Meaning them all. And not the devil and her 9 principalities, its 9 principalities. So, what is the sin of the fifth slot though before I move on? It's pride. Just like the sin for the fourth slot was gluttony, the sin for the fifth slot is pride. Pride being used against us. Pride for an evil world, not our soul world. You follow what I'm saying? The devil made us have pride for disgust and evil and darkness and wickedry, and not what the soul wants us to have pride for. Even though it doesn't even want us to have the pride, you just feel it. You just feel satisfaction for what the soul started you out with. You just naturally feel a satisfaction for what the soul started you out with. The problem is, the enemy learned about that in regards to you and used it against you. And it made you feel a false satisfaction for an evil world. That's what the enemy did. This parable is going to help rid you of that clearly moving forward. The next one. What's the life form of the next hierarchy and the reconnection scenario thereof? What's the life form of the next part of the hierarchy and the reconnection scenario thereof? The life, throat chakra, form, Asura from the video game Asura's Wrath. Another nerd one. It's going to be a lot of more nerd ones from here on out. Asura's Wrath is this one's right here. But why Wrath though? Think about the video game in itself. The life is the throat chakra. The being or the form is Asura's Wrath from the video game. He's the great father on this one right here. Asura went through his game and slaughtered and nor laid waste and nor erased. There we go. He erased the 9 principalities from my family's mind heart spaces. That's what Asura's Wrath did in his video game. Okay, that's not exactly what happened. That's just what I'm getting ready to do while telling you all these characters out loud and get ready to act their characteristics out into the real world once I finally get what I need to get out here and talk to you. You follow what I'm saying? So check it. Just like in the Asura's Wrath video game, the characteristics thereof that Asura has for my children or for my daughter. I don't have a daughter for real. I'm just spiritually speaking. For my child, I am going to go through the spirit using my voice and the wrath that my voice carries thereof. Notice wrath. I said wrath. Wrath is the sin of the voice chakra, the voice hierarchy. I'm going to use my voice to say things out loud that'll go through the spirit and erase the 9 negative, the 9 negative principalities thereof that hold and or harbor control over my family's spiritual, moral artboard grounds. You follow what I'm saying? And once this transpires through all of these parables that I'm labeling and describing for it to happen, ultimately, the 9 principalities, the 9 negative principalities will no longer have control over thee, and you will be able to walk clearly and cleanly as you were destined to. That's the reconnection scenario for that great father line right there, for that hierarchy slot on the 9 great fathers energies parable. Moving forward now. So, what's the next slot then? If you got the reconnection scenario, the next slot is one of the biggest ones. This one is not necessarily a father though. Nor is he necessarily what you would consider good. Yeah? The next great father, I kind of count him as a father because of the Raising Dion show. Just throwing that out there. You'll see why that has nothing to do with any... Moving forward, this next person, this next great father, or should I say great son on the list, its life is the third eye chakra, Christ, and its being or its form is Eric Killmonger from the Black Panther movie. Yep, more nerd stuff, more geeky. It's just, I have this agenda that Eric Killmonger had on his mind, on mine's. You dig what I'm saying? It's like I got the same agenda that Eric Killmonger had on his mind, on mine's. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. I just got this on my mind, you know what I mean? And I know for a fact that as one thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. You dig? But sloth has to be eliminated, meaning stop being lazy. Get up and get something. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, just to keep that simple right there. Eric Killmonger's agenda is the same agenda on my third eye right now. Soul liberation for the entire world. Home liberation. Home liberation. I'm glad I said that parable earlier. Now you know why I'm saying it again now today. Home liberation. Now we can move forward faster. Eliminate the sin of sloth. Recognize the life power of and/or the spiritual abilities and/or the spiritual powers of the third eye chakra. That's another reconnection scenario. That's another reason why I'm saying it. And Eric Killmonger is the father thereof. If you want to count the entirely different show of the Raising Dion to connect with the character that Michael B. Jordan also plays to be a father, doesn't make any sense. Moving forward, here. The next hierarchy and the reconnection scenario thereof. But the reconnection scenario for the third eye chakra is, on my mind, I got an Eric Killmonger on my mind. And he wants to manifest the melanated people's liberation worldwide by any moral means necessary. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. I'm sure he meant God's kingdom. And when he said the sun will never set, meaning it'll never go down. The sun will never go down upon God's kingdom, meaning it'll always be up. The sun will always be up and upon the throne, shining upon the throne of the Wakandan Empire or God's kingdom's empire. Shining upon that throne. Why only shining upon the throne and not sitting on it or setting on the throne? Why is the sun not setting on the throne, or the light thereof not setting? Because that's what the sun is, light. Why is it not setting? Because it's just shining on the throne and showing us how the seat looks, but no one is sitting on it. Why? Because we don't need anyone to be our leaders. We only need the spirit soul to be our leader. We already have a leader, and it is the heart of hearts chakra. The heart of hearts is technically sitting on the throne right now. The heart of hearts is physically sitting on the throne right now. Think about it. Chakra Trimurti parable. the chakra trimurti parable, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra are all the true Jesus in one. If you want to look at it from my perspective. And this all in one inner self, or all in one inner being, our inner self, our inner being, already is the throne and sitting on the thrones, just like the throne's angel in the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy, you see. So that's that parable there. Reverse sloth into ambition. Reverse sloth into a desire for balance. That's the end game goal there, because sloth in so many ways is balance and energy that's not hurting you. But then again, don't be slothful. Be ambitious to accomplish global soul liberation and global child manumission by any moral means necessary. Moving forward. Now, the next one. I'm going to make this quick. I see I'm running out of time again. I talk too much again. But this is a lot to explain. A lot to explain, yo. This is just a lot. Here, the next father. Or what's the next great father? And what's the reconnection scenario with the next hierarchy slot? What's the next reconnection scenario of the hierarchy slot? And what's the great father of this here life form? Or what's the life first and what's the form next? I'm going to come up with ways to say about heart soon. I guarantee you that as well. The life is the crown chakra, and the form is Yahweh, or Isis, or Yahuwah, or Allah. Allah is the crown chakra's jealousy. Allah is the jealousy of the crown chakra. Allah is the jealousy of the crown chakra. Jehovah is the jealousy of the crown chakra. Yahweh, Yahweh, Allah, Kaidios, Yahja Khan, or Jehovah is the jealousy of the crown chakra. The jealousy in the crown chakra, the jealousy on the crown chakra. This is the crown chakra sin right here. The crown chakra sin is jealousy, just like the third eye chakra sin was sloth. That's going to get reversed to balance, and we all know the rest of them, but move forward here. Jealousy is the sin of the crown chakra. And how we get rid of the jealousy sin of the crown chakra, the sun has to take it over and just be the light thereof in it. Meaning the light has to be the principality or the soul chakra, or Eric Killmonger has to beat up the Lord God in my brain. This is the ultimate answer here for me. And then once the Eric Killmonger in my brain beats up the jealous Lord God in my brain, Eric Killmonger is then going to toss the Lord God off of a cliff. And the only thing that will be left there is the crown chakra's nature and energy itself. No more negative jealousy principality, you see. And the thing is, once the negative jealousy principality goes away, it's just going to be in the physical. Oh, dang, it is going to come back. It's only going to come back as one thing, though. But then you're going to have black lightning. Well, no, let me see. It's just a scenario I'm putting in my head. I've been looking at this edit. No, moving forward. When we beat the crap out of the jealousy spirit within our spiritual realm, the fear that it came with will also go with it. You follow me? And the thing is, fear is the last sin of the hierarchy. Fear is the last sin. Jealousy is right there. But then fear is the sin after jealousy. You follow me? In the Most High God slot. But how are we going to beat the jealousy? We need to replace the God. We need to replace the God. We need to replace the Lord God with the characteristics of the light. We need to replace the Lord God's ethos and or the information that it has upon our logos with the information that we have on the characteristics of the light, the divine characteristics of light, and the divine characteristics of the universe. We need to replace the logos' desires of jealousy for the divine characteristics of the universe's moral art grounds. You follow what I'm saying? That's how we beat this. That's how we're going to beat it. Here, let me land this real quick. The final slot. That's how you beat that slot, though. Now, the final slot, the Most High God slot, the soul star, or the quantum, or the seraphim. The life is the soul star chakra. The father or the form is the black lightning. That's Black Lightning from the TV show, because of his character and how he was so bound to save the day, fearlessly fighting for his people and for his home to be liberated, fighting for his home. The name of the freaking city, man. Freeman. I gotta watch it again. It's been about 2 years now, but I've been thinking about it every day. I should know the name of the city that the Black Lightning was fighting for in the show, right? He was fighting for his home to be liberated. Black Lightning was. That's another reason why and he was fighting fearlessly by any moral means necessary. Will you all be at home, and will you all be okay, and will you all be safe? There's the point of the parable there. That's the 9 great fathers energies parable. I'm out of time. I need you to get what I got, man, what I put on here. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May you all be lifted in the spirit. Be lifted in the spirit, and walk good forever. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my dear family.